Today's reading from Under the Whispering Door. Death isn't a final ending, Wallace. It is an ending, sure, but only to prepare you for a new beginning.
Howdy, partners, and welcome to episode 13 of the Reading Room Ruffians, your favorite library podcast. We discuss books we've read, tell you about any upcoming programs, and throw a few guest speakers in for some flavor. We are coming to you from our public library in Jackson County, West Virginia. This is Mallory, but really, I'm 15 raccoons in leggings, and I'm joined by my precious opossum BFF, Ariel.
Live fast, eat trash.
Our supreme overlord, Carla.
Oh my god.
And coming in hot from Seattle, Washington, we have this nerd, Zach.
Well, howdy, partner.
Today, my work wife, Amy, is joining us, and she's going to be discussing The Patient by Jasper Dewitt with us. We're going to ask her a few questions before we get started on that, though.
She's ready. I can see
it.
Okay, so how long have you worked at the library?
I have worked at the library now about 7 years. I did leave for a year to go to the courthouse, but luckily was allowed to come back, and I'm so glad to be back. So let's just say 7 years.
I can't believe it's only been, because this will be my 7th year. That's hard to
Well, maybe
believe.
it's 8, yeah.
I mean, you were gone for a year,
Yeah,
but
so
I didn't realize that you weren't
been
here
here
that
that
much
long.
longer than me. That's
I've
wild.
been back in West Virginia for 9, so
Yeah.
it's been about 8 now.
What made you want to start working at the library?
That's difficult to answer. Actually, the reason that I wanted to first work here has changed
Yeah.
as to why I actually stay.
She
Yeah.
stays for us. Let's be
She
honest.
does.
Yeah.
It's
of
me.
course, when I started, it was like, oh, I love books. I just want to be around books. But you find that it's so busy. I hardly read now. And there's so much to do. There's so many programs. There's so much other stuff that it's not really about the books as much
Yeah.
for me anymore.
So that, I guess, takes us into what's your main job here at the library?
I am the circulation supervisor, so I'm supposed to be supervising you guys, but I'm mostly in charge of the adult programs. I do about 2 per month, and then plus the summer reading program, so I'm in charge of keeping the adults in line.
Crack that whip, Amy.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to add a note that supervising these two here is like herding cats. So you do a good job.
What are you talking about? We're easy to supervise.
No.
Basically, let us do what we want within
There you
reason.
go. Yeah.
And we're good.
Within reason is debatable.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What's your favorite thing about working here?
Yeah, as Mallory points to herself. So I definitely love my coworkers, that's for sure. I really like to work with the public, believe it or not. I enjoy most of the patrons that come in. I really enjoy, and if
You get really good patrons though. Like
I
your
do.
patrons that like you bring you gifts and
Yeah.
everything. Like
That's
I'm
for
like
sure.
low key jealous, but also I don't like the public enough to like build those relationships.
But I have met some really great people here, so that's definitely a plus.
Okay, hardest question on this list. What's your favorite book of all time?
And I hate to choose this one, but it has to be the Harry Potter series.
That's not bad.
Yeah, but I didn't find that till I was an adult.
Yeah.
There were already 4 books out when I first started reading it, so
Yeah.
I didn't have to wait for that.
I was going to say, that's perfect then, because
That
then you can
is.
binge them.
Yeah.
Which I did. And my mom is the one that made me start reading them, and I didn't want to because I thought, oh, it's a kid's book.
Yeah.
But she made me, and then I came to her house 11:30 one night, and I had just finished one. I was like, I need the next one now. So we started reading it. I found those books during a time when I had a horrible, horrible job. I was very depressed. And that just opened up a world of magic to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would sit at work and think about what's happening next. Was Crookshanks really something else? And I mean, I can just remember thinking those things about Crookshanks, and it gave me something else to focus on.
Yeah.
It gave me a world of magic to escape into. And so it was life-changing. It really was.
Okay, so is fantasy your favorite type of book, or was that just like a
That-
one-time?
That was a fluke, probably.
A fluke?
Yeah. But I like Nora Roberts is probably my favorite author. I love her books, the older stuff that's about Ireland and magic and witches. And so maybe
See, that's fantasy.
maybe I do. No science fiction,
Yeah.
really, but fantasy, maybe yes.
All right, well, cool.
So let's start discussing The Patient by Jasper Dewitt. I think everybody except me got it finished.
Failure, judging
I
you
know,
so hard.
I know.
Pretty bad. It was a very short book.
I know.
You know?
I made it halfway through it, and
Yeah.
I was listening at 2 speed, so I don't know.
How did you not
I don't
finish?
know.
You can finish that
I
book in
don't
like an
know.
hour at 2 speed. Come
I
on.
don't know.
Wow.
I have no idea what I've done.
Okay, so this book was my deep dive pick. It is about a psychiatrist who goes to work in an asylum, essentially, and he is fresh out of college, thinks he's like hot shit, and knows everything as young people do. And he finds there is a patient within the asylum that they don't treat. Like, he doesn't have therapy. They just give him some antidepressants and then leave him alone to himself. And he has been in the asylum since he was 6 years old. And he's like, I think in his 30s now.
I thought it was 40.
Maybe 40s. It doesn't actually say his age, I don't think, ever in the book.
I think 30s because
They
said I just listened to him say they haven't his parents haven't visited him in 30 years.
Okay,
So he
so
would be 36 then.
Yeah.
So anyway, so like some crazy stuff happens when people go to see him. Like if you're in the room with him too long, or if you treat him too long, the common thing that happens is you go crazy and try to commit suicide.
And several were successful.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what did everybody think?
At first, I was really afraid that this was going to be a book that like stays with me. And I'm like looking over my shoulder for the next 6 months because
Yeah.
something. I don't think it will be now because of the way it ended. But I was really thinking, oh no, this is not going to be good. I'll be like thinking about this forever. I mean, it's a good book, but I don't think it's going to hang with me, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump too far forward in the story, but something that tipped me off early about what it might be is the fact that Joe's voice was not able to be recorded.
Yeah.
That tipped me off.
Yeah, that was weird. So anytime that they would try to record him during a therapy session, his voice did not show up on it, for those who are listening.
I've only gotten to one recording so far, but I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting whenever he actually listened to it with the headphones on the second time.
louder.
He heard more stuff.
Yeah.
That gave me goosies. But yeah, I have really enjoyed this book so far. I'm definitely going to finish it. I'll probably slow it down so I can absorb more.
it, yeah.
But I really do like it. I'm kind of not sure why I haven't like binged it, because this is definitely the kind of book that I would. Like The Silent Patient was an actual long book, and I think I read that in like 4 or 5 days. So I'm not sure. I did start this on Wednesday, though,
You're
to
judging
be
her.
fair. I mean, I'm judging myself. I've really slowed down the last couple of months.
There was one part in it that I had to listen to it twice to make sure I heard it correctly. And that's when he things like, I've never been prey before.
Yeah, see,
I was
they,
like, did I hear that?
yeah. I was like, what is
Oh.
it talking about? I've never
And
been prey before. And then it clicked for
Yeah,
me, and I was
yeah.
like, oh.
It's always been a predator.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so Zach, what do you think of it?
I really enjoyed this book, although I will say I think it needed a little bit more, it needed a little bit more fleshing out or to sit around a little bit longer. I think that for the most part, the whole book went by a little bit too fast for me to really enjoy it as much as I think it could have been enjoyed, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. I agree. I wish that it had been like, instead of a 4-hour book to listen to, it'd been like a 9 or 10-hour book to listen to. Like just more detail, more things going on. Make it a little creepier.
Yeah, which is a weird thing because generally horror stuff I like to be shorter, right? Because you want to just like sit in there, get all the creepiness in there, and then eventually you get fatigued by it. But this one,
Yeah.
it just needed a little bit more creepiness, a little bit more stuff in there, more juice for me to, get out of it.
I think this one would make a phenomenal movie.
Oh, yeah.
It would make a good movie,
Because
yeah.
they're not going to lose a whole lot because it's not that long. Yeah.
Okay, so whenever I first started it, did this guy write it from an actual Reddit post?
No.
Or, okay, that's what I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I actually looked that up because at the beginning it says, that he got this from a certain Reddit post and yada, yada, yada. It honestly made me think of like a creepypasta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling too, but then I was like, well, I don't know if that was like an author's note before or it was part of the story because I was listening.
Yeah, same.
So
See,
I
I haven't
didn't get
seen
to-
an
yeah.
actual physical copy of this book, so I don't know. But yeah, I Googled, is, the patient based on a true thing? And it said no.
Okay, cool.
That's a good point. It does feel a lot like a creepypasta, though, right?
Yeah.
Especially back in I think it was late 2000s. There was a ton of that stuff, especially with like Slender Man and a bunch of other
The
ones.
Russian
They do like
sleep experiment.
Oh,
Gosh,
yeah.
that one freaked me out.
that one hung with me.
Yeah, that one
hung
freaked
with
me out.
I was like, oh.
It was like, this is like a milder version of that kind of thing.
Yeah, speaking of, though, I'm not entirely sure I liked the whole, it's different forum posts for this thing that had already happened. It seemed strange. I don't know why the author made that choice to write it that way instead of just doing a cohesive story all the way through. Because I didn't feel like the little interstitial points where he's talking about how he was posting this stuff and how it had happened in the past, et cetera, was helpful. Did you guys like that or not? Because I just thought it was kind of pointless.
I thought it kind of made it feel more real.
It did,
Yeah.
like somebody, like he had taken exactly what that guy had said and put it in a book.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see a lot of posts like that on Reddit. You see a lot of threads like where they originally say, like the "Am I the a-hole" posts.
Yeah.
They'll usually post like an original thing and then they keep expanding on it like, oh, I wasn't expecting this, so let's get the whole thing. That's what it felt like for me, which made it definitely feel like all he did was copy and paste, which was pretty cool.
It also kind of gave it, like, you could see how what had happened affected this psychiatrist even later on in life.
Yeah.
Like, because he talks about how he had to take a few drinks before writing something,
Mm-hmm.
or he wasn't sure he was going to be able to get everything out just because he was so, like, disturbed by it.
I worried for his kids.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that thing is still out there and it's after you and now your wife's pregnant.
Yep. Oh, yeah, because you haven't read the ending.
No, I
okay,
haven't
so
read it. That's
basically.
okay.
Okay,
Spoilers!
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. I'm fine with it.
So is there anything specific you want to discuss about this?
The only one question I have is going to ruin the story for Mallory.
It's
It'll
all
be
right.
fine,
Let it
yeah.
ruin.
I
Ruin it for her.
Should've-
Yeah.
It's her
This is
fault.
her
Am I right
consequence.
It
to
is.
assume that Jocelyn, the fiance,
Uh-huh.
is dead? He had to kill her to take shape, right? Because he killed the
Oh,
boy Joe
yeah.
I thought about that at
and
first.
put him in the wall
Yeah.
and took his
Yeah.
shape.
I
he-
never even
No, I
thought about that.
that
So in
first.
order to him to be
But,
the one now, he has to have killed
I've
her.
been wondering if that's what's actually happening here. Okay, cool. Cool.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
But that's my only question is, did he get her somehow and kill her to take her shape?
And then she's pregnant.
Ooh.
What's that baby going to be?
Yeah, what's it going to be?
Because I did think of that too, but then I thought, well, maybe not because there was nothing else happened between them, about the thing. So
I didn't think about
I
that
don't
at
know.
all. That's
I
why
didn't
that came
either.
out of nowhere
That
to me.
never would have occurred to me either.
Because, I mean, it definitely was the thing, the monster or whatever that put Joseph in the wall. 'Cause
Yeah.
the parents didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was a horrifying point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially like the claw, where he tried
Where he tried to fight.
I thought
with
that was just way
fingernails
too.
and blood.
Yeah, I hated that
sad.
part.
Yeah.
You going to listen to the rest of it now?
Oh, for sure I am. Yeah. I already knew I would.
That was just the one question I was left with. I would have liked to have heard a little more about that, maybe.
Yeah.
Is what he,
I think
what he
leaving
did
you
to
guessing,
her.
though,
Well,
Is
because it has
Yeah.
made me ponder, so. And I'd just like to have had some detail.
Me with young kids, though, I think, oh my gosh, I really hope I'd never have my kids come into me and be like, there's a monster.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
Because I've
time
had,
to move.
right? Let's burn this place down and move.
Yes.
But no, I've had the kids when they were like when Alex was younger, stand at the foot of my bed or sit in my bed and be like, who's that man at the foot of my bed?
Oh.
And I'm like, there ain't no one there, buddy. And he goes, how come he doesn't have to go to bed? And I'm like, well,
That's not creepy
let's go
at all.
sleep on the couch because this
Yeah.
ain't happening.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? So, like, reading the end of this book where this monster's still out there, and he's like, if your kids ever come to you and say, that there's monsters
Mhm.
coming, I'm like, I really hope my kids don't
No,
do
no, it's
that.
worse than that because, like, it's not just that monster's out there, but apparently there's a whole species of those
Yes.
things
Yes,
just everywhere.
yes.
Yeah.
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 It's like if I was the doctor, my first thing would have been, how do I kill this thing?
Mm-hmm.
I would have been hunting ways to kill it.
Okay, so what do we think about the fact that he had that dream where he went into the hospital, unlocked the door? Okay, why? How do we think that happened?
I think the thing manipulated him. I think it got in his head and made him do that stuff.
Because that's how it got out.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would have tried that if he hadn't been made it come to that realization that, hey, maybe I could get out.
Yeah, he should have just murked it immediately. I know he couldn't because, they all thought it was still a person, but actually that was one part that bothered me a little bit. He never got a chance to talk to the other doctor, I don't know, gave him all letters. I can't remember which one it was.
A.
The lady.
Dr. A.
Dr. G.
Dr. G, that's right, yeah. Because he was, Dr. A was the original one who first.
And he was a complete butt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hated him.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Jaded old man or whatever.
I was kind of glad it killed him, which is awful. Shouldn't,
Oh, darn. But some people just need killing.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
Please do not murder.
That sign is not in here.
I don't know if he actually did it though. Did he actually go in and let I can't even remember the patient's name. Joe, thank you. Yeah. Did they actually come in and let Joe out? I mean, we think that that's what it was because of the dream and because he was gone the next day. But also, didn't Jocelyn say that he was home that night?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say that, but I'm sure she slept and he could have left and come back.
And he woke up with wet clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Still.
Okay, so if you were a psychiatrist,
a lot of the book
have...
didn't make a ton of sense to me, if I'm real honest. The mechanics of things, but
That's because it's the woo factor.
Yeah,
whatever. I feel like you should have rules in your horror books.
So if you were a psychiatrist, would you have tried to help Joe?
I mean, initially, sure, yeah. Until I found out he was a monster living in some kid's wall who could melt through stuff, Then I might want to just murk him immediately.
I don't know if they cover this in the rest of the book, but one of the things that I first of all did wonder if actually the thing that he was afraid of was actually him. So that's kind of cool to know that my brain was kind of on that, because that's normally not a thing that my brain does in books. Also kind of wondered if he had Joe write anything, like journal it while they were talking. Do you think it knew how to write? And could he have figured that out that way? Because I wondered about that and was like,
that's a good point. I
wonder if... I guess he could have wrote that off, though, because Joe was admitted when he was 6. And if they did not spend much time, he may not have ever learned how to write or read.
That is a good point. That
was something we discussed, too, is how did he get some of the information he had? When he turns 18, he should have been allowed to go.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. There was things he knew that were how would he know that if he came
maybe
in?
Maybe he just lied.
I had just assumed orderlies talk and he listened. That was just my guess.
I think he was just a big bug liar.
A big bug liar?
He was creepy. It was creepy.
He was creepy. I think it was cool how he would figure out what the people were scared of and then play into that. What's that doctor's name? The one who was treating him?
Parker.
Oh yeah.
Was it Parker?
No, that's the really mean one.
No,
that's the young psychiatrist.
Yeah,
Parker.
Okay. So how Dr. G asked him what he was scared of, and he was not being able to help the people I care about. And Joe somehow knew that and instantly played up to where he'd make him care about him.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was very interesting. Whenever they said that, I was like, oh, think of that.
And the way he could change all his stories about what happened and
Which I'm so tender-hearted. Of course, I hated the Marty the dog drowning and all that. I hated thinking.
See, I only made it to the cat and and the kitten in there, and I was like, wow.
I don't remember a dog.
Yeah, his dog drowning. That was one of the main things that he played up on. Was right, Marty the dog.
I don't remember the dog.
I don't remember a dog either.
What about you, Zach? Do you remember
I don't remember this dog now.
Oh my
Are you sure we read the same book?
It keeps coming up. It comes up numerous times. When he laughs, that was the noise that he heard when the river took the dog. The river laughed.
That is not in there.
No.
Maybe, because I listened to it on YouTube. Maybe I heard things you guys didn't hear.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible.
Maybe they made it up.
Did it have his mom in there?
Like when he went to Joe's house?
No. Parker's mom.
No.
Okay, so that's switched then.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you listened to the story before, like maybe that was like a first draft story.
Oh, that's crazy. That was such a huge part
So was
of
there
it.
was there a cat in yours?
Yes.
Okay, so like the cat that he met in the woods.
But that was
Okay.
Joe's story.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That his dad had hurt the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But see, Parker had a dog that he threw
Oh.
a stick into the water, and
I
the
see
water
what you're
was fast, and it took the dog away, and it hit its head, so the head was bleeding, and his dog died.
See, no. See,
Oh my gosh,
And-
that's such a huge part of
That would
it.
have been traumatic.
Because then the river laughed at him, and he
Yeah.
heard that laugh.
Yeah.
Did you guys after?
It was his mom.
No, it was his mom.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
his mom and that.
Did Joe not laugh at him later? And
No, he
heard
did,
that
but he
same
heard-
laugh?
Did, but he
He
heard
heard-
his mom.
Yeah, he was his mom. See, his
Because his
mom.
mom was
Crazy.
schizophrenic.
Yeah, and she got admitted to a psych hospital when he was like young, like 7, 8,
But then
9
they
years
let
old.
him out.
No.
A day.
Well,
No.
one day he spent one
One
day,
day.
and he went home
And then when he came back, that's when he probably came back
as the monster.
As the monster, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
What about I said about Jocelyn? Is that
No, yeah, that's in there.
No, yeah, that's
she was
the word.
attacked.
Okay.
Well, she was attacked.
No.
Yeah, there was nothing like hinting that it was actually the monster though. Afterwards,
Except for the fact that he said that she was like
he took over her, right?
not the same, and he just chalked it up trauma.
Because she was she stayed in the house all the time. After
Yeah.
that, pretty much. She was a homebody.
Yeah.
Because it was a brutal attack, I guess.
Yeah. But no, Parker, his mom was schizophrenic and she got admitted when he was little, which is why he decided to become a psychiatrist. He wanted to help people. But he goes to see her in the psych hospital and they walk in and she's like standing or squatting in a puddle of her own urine with a knife like stabbed through her arm. And she's like, asks him to help her because she can't get the maggots out of her.
Yeah.
Because that's what she's thinking, like in her head, that, you know, she's filled up with all these bugs and stuff like that. So she thought if she cut herself, they would bleed out.
And so the thing is, like, at that point, she realizes that he's upset. And so she's like, she says, like, oh, baby, or something
Yeah,
like
she's
that.
trying
and
to
then she,
comfort
like,
him.
does, like, a big howl, and then she starts laughing.
Yeah.
And then he, from that, has, like, traumatic dreams afterwards.
That's where
And
the
it
laugh
morphs
comes
her
from.
into, like,
Yeah, and that's what Joe does. Yeah, so that's crazy that the YouTube one's different.
different.
That's wild.
I want to listen to that one now.
yeah, you should link us definitely after this.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, so Dr. A. I'm going to switch topics here a little bit just because it's been bothering me. His whole thing with with trying to be super logical and trying to actually diagnose Joe was just, it was such nonsense after a while. You know, especially towards the end there where they're like, no, it's very clear that he's got some sort of weird supernatural powers here to read
Yeah, I think
people's
he was
minds and
just
stuff. And the dude's like, oh
grasping
no,
at
it's just
straws.
this. And like, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's definitely...
I think he was just grasping at straws because he didn't want to believe that it could be supernatural.
Yeah.
Because he's
but
a
I mean,
man of science.
even though his like the logic there just was not consistent, I didn't think, at least in his
I
reasoning.
just thought he was I'm not going to say what I thought he was, but that's okay.
Bad
but-
words we'd have to bleep
Yes.
out.
Yes.
It's okay, we already had to bleep one of yours out, Ariel.
Yeah.
So
Yep. It's all right. We've bleeped out 2 years before in previous podcasts.
I mean, I think that's the reason
for emphasis.
a lot of people don't get the right diagnosis because the person doesn't want to see what really could have happened
Mhm.
or doesn't want to, I don't know, accept that maybe there's more out there than
Yeah.
we understand at the present that people are experiencing.
But they did say that they tried to do an exorcism with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did say that and it didn't work or whatever.
Well, I don't think it was a demon.
No, it wasn't a demon. It was clearly just some sort of like monster with vague psychic powers.
Mhm.
You know?
Aliens.
Changer.
It was not an alien.
How do you know? You didn't read the book.
You're right, I didn't write the book. You're correct. It wasn't aliens though. That's just silly.
You're just
It was
silly.
probably an interdimensional being.
Oh
Which
my
sounds
gosh.
like aliens to me.
Well, how else are you going to come out of the wall?
You're just cool and can go goopy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh-huh. See, aliens can do that.
Well, I mean, how can you be psychic? I mean, that's not really a thing either.
Because
So
you're an interdimensional
Because
being.
you're an alien. I don't see why you're fighting this.
No. Hold up. We're saying here that because you're an interdimensional being, you can read minds and go through walls.
Why not?
Well, definitely the walls part. I don't know about the reading minds, but
Maybe
definitely
that's
the
just
walls
their
part.
power.
Because the wall's not really there. It's in their dimension, so they can just, hop
Yeah,
in.
maybe in their
okay.
dimension, everybody's psychic, which would be
that's-
real annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like Superman, all right? He's totally normal, on, was it Krypton? But when he comes to Earth, he's a superhero. Maybe it's the same type of deal. And guess what? Superman's an alien.
He is an alien. This is true.
So maybe when they come to Earth, they get psychic abilities.
I'm gonna email the author now and be like, yo, bro, we talking interdimensional? We talking aliens? Or is this just some monster that happens to exist and a whole species of them?
We must know.
Well, see, the thing is that the reason why I think it's like not a unique thing, or it's just like something that is on Earth or whatever, is because there's apparently a bunch of them. You know? So I'm thinking like they just evolved with us.
They could take over. They could just like come in and be like, "Hey, we're gonna do a soft takeover till we have enough
Let me
of
tell
us."
you, alien
invasion.
That's
what I'm saying. It's like,
Did I channel my inner History Channel guy there?
The crazy hair.
The crazy hair.
Aliens.
Aliens,
that guy. Yeah. From the ancient aliens thing.
Yeah.
They could just come on, like send a couple in at a time. Be like, yeah, we can do this. And then just send more and more until nobody's left.
Because this is a fiction book, so they could be anything.
Yeah.
Just monsters. It's
Not
like
just monsters.
it's like some SCP stuff, you know.
I like how he's so set on monsters and refuses to believe it could be aliens.
My God. No, this is definitely somebody's
We
SCP
literally had to
thing.
listen to his stupid math book about aliens.
That was a good book.
that
That was our
I
best
read half of that
episode.
book. It was not good.
It was our best episode by far.
If they would make this book into a movie, is there a particular actor you'd like to see play Joe?
Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
Giorgio.
Would you need an unknown?
No, not Joe.
Maybe
Because I can't see Ben Affleck.
the guy who plays it, Skarsgård.
Skarsgård guy, yeah.
Would
I
he be
don't-
good?
I think that guy that played was it Joaquin Phoenix or whatever that played the Joker?
Oh, yeah.
Creepy.
He's too old,
Yeah.
though.
I was
I
gonna
think
say, is he a
he
little
might
bit
be too old,
now?
but he's creepy as
Yeah.
He is
Yes.
creepy. I think that the Skarsgård guy, one of the Skarsgård, is he Bill? Which one is he?
Bill is
Their dad.
Yeah.
Alexander is like one of the older brothers. He was the one in True Blood. We were just talking about this, and I know.
I know, I can't
No, it is
remember his
Bill.
name.
Bill Skarsgård
You're
is
right,
the dude
it
who's
is.
in it.
Why do I?
Maybe because the dad plays Bill in Mamma Mia.
That's
Oh my
it.
gosh.
Did you know
Gets me
that?
every time?
No, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Love that
It is the
movie.
best
It's so
movie.
good.
Let's see.
Every
Creepy
part is my favorite
actors. We're gonna look up some creepy actors.
In their 30s.
See, all the creepy actors I can think of are like older is the issue. But Bill Skarsgård I think would be pretty good for it. They should make this would make a good little
Oh,
movie.
Christopher Walken should be Dr. A.
Ooh.
He would make a good one. I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of those were even in their 30s.
No.
Like none of
Yeah.
none of
Christopher
those are.
Walken definitely isn't.
So for a second, too, Joe's dad. Oh, well, maybe this happened in your story. I don't know.
Oh, that guy.
When
Yeah,
Parker
yeah,
went
that's
to Joe's house,
Uh-huh.
the dad is dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They never said why or how, or there's nothing spooky about that. He
I don't
just
think
No.
so. I
No.
think he just died
Okay.
of a broken heart or something.
Oh.
She mentioned something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wondered about that, how the dad had died, and if there was anything to that, but I guess not.
At least not in our version of the story.
Did the dad have someone make a replica of what the monster supposedly
Yeah.
looked like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I found
Weird.
I feel like that's
incredibly
really
creepy.
creepy.
Yeah,
like
really.
that would
That is
freak
really
me out.
creepy.
More
It would have
so.
brought it to life more.
Yeah.
To actually be able to see it.
And then especially to see that on the wall and then see if something come through your wall. And I would think, oh my God, there's more.
You know, and when they found bruises on the kid and scratches, he'd have been sleeping with me every night
Yeah.
until we moved out of that house.
Mhm.
Burn
I
it down.
immediately moved out of that house. You kidding me? Okay, actually, though, what did you guys think about the description of the monster?
First off, I hated that because it had the body of a worm, and I
Yeah.
can't handle that crap.
That's true. You don't like worms, but yeah, no, the body of a
Or
worm.
not at all.
It had it was very strong. It had like
Arms
the
of a
arms of a man,
spider.
a tiger. Okay,
Spider. A
spider.
spider.
Yeah, not a tiger.
Tiger.
A
I'm tired. All right, I'm tired.
He was scared of bugs. And then eyes of a fly.
eyes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's
I
creepy. beyond
I don't
creepy.
understand how the Dr. A came up with his theory about how the monster came to be. That was just the most nonsense thing I've ever heard.
Oh, where he was saying that he was like relating it to his father.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, what?
Well, okay, you have to think.
Bit of a stretch.
Strong
Well, you're really-
arms, like a dad. A phallic symbol because of the worm body.
No, I understood the logic there. I just thought it was stupid.
It is stupid.
It is really stupid logic there. But he was like convinced.
That's some very, what is it, Freud thinking?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, maybe that's it. He's just a Freudian type of person or Jungian.
The logic is there, but it's stupid.
It is.
So they did contribute it in your story to sexual abuse?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were wrong.
Yeah, I think the only thing that seems different between the one that you listened to and the one we listened
It's about
to
Marty the dog.
is the dog, yeah. Which I guess maybe they thought he would relate more to helping people if his mom was hurt
Probably.
instead of a dog.
Yeah.
So I really feel like yours was like a first draft kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to look up when it was published, if I could get the, phone connect to the internet in here.
I'll just look it up real quick. Hold on a second. The Patient, Jasper Dewitt. Oh, is there a movie? Hold up.
Is
in
there
there.
a movie?
It was first published July 7th of 2020, and the one you listened to was posted on YouTube in 2019.
Wow.
So yeah.
You got the first draft.
I'm jealous. Now I'm going to have
That's
to
really
listen
cool.
to it.
See, it was really.
Okay.
I had
Changed
to
it.
actually bought this book on audio for the library because I'm like I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
I needed to read it, and I bought it on a Tuesday, and then I forgot about it Wednesday because I got busy. And Thursday I went to check it out, and I was the fourth person on hold for it, which I don't really think is fair.
You should have bought it and instantly went and checked it
I
out.
should have, but I thought it needed a little time to get
Yeah.
uploaded. No, I guess not.
I just got it from the Seattle Public Library.
I think Ariel, where did you get yours from?
I got mine off of Audible,
And the one you found for me.
King County.
See,
So we had to go.
Oh, there you go. See, King County.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember where I got mine from.
I think it was King County
It
too.
might be, yeah.
Because you were like, I got it. I'm pretty sure you told me you got it on King County. So, and I told her about it, and so I used my library card and put it on her Libby thing so she could listen.
So they probably have more than one copy. That's pretty
Yeah.
They have to because
Yeah.
the way the publishers are.
According to IMDb, Ryan Reynolds is set to produce a horror film called The Patient Who Nearly Drove Me Out of Medicine, based on this book.
Oh.
Yay!
Ooh, Ryan Reynolds is producing it?
I'm so excited!
Oh, man.
When's it supposed to come out? Does it say?
I don't know, but it also says that it was originally published on Reddit No Sleep, so I don't know. Maybe it was actually a Reddit post beforehand. I know you said it wasn't, but IMDb disagrees. This was also written in 2018. What in the world? It was written in 2018, and it says it was originally published on Reddit No Sleep. So I don't know. This is interesting. I'm going to do more research.
Maybe it is a little, there's something to it. Maybe they elaborated on it, but maybe there really are these like spider worm things out there that's,
Yeah, and they're trying to not let us find out they exist.
I wonder if Reddit No Sleep is like a copy pasta, though.
A copy pasta?
Copy pasta thread in Reddit, yeah.
Instead of like creepy pasta?
Yeah, what did I say?
Copy
Copy.
pasta? And then I asked you, and you were like,
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was like, okay. All
That's
right.
great. Creepy. I meant creepy.
there's too much creepiness out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even find where you found the thing that was being
IMDb.
produced by.
Ryan Reynolds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just searched for stuff on... I said The Patient Jasper Dewitt movie, and that's the first thing that came up.
Okay, the Patient Jasper Dewitt movie.
Yes. Although it was from 2018, so I doubt it's going to happen now, if I'm being real
Maybe.
honest.
I don't know. He worked on Deadpool a really long time. He doesn't give up.
And we had the years where nothing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reynolds is not expected to star in the film. He will only produce it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he could have played Parker, maybe, but he's kind of old for that.
I don't think that he would have either.
I don't know. Anyways, I hope it gets made. I want to watch it.
Yeah. It's definitely fun.
I thought this
So
one
far.
too made you really look at kids' nightmares differently.
Yeah.
It's like, what if 1 out of like 10,000 are not a nightmare? And
I-
it's something
see-
that's really happening.
Like I said, I hate when my kids come and tell me that something creepy is there. Because I'm the freaking adult in the house. I don't like that. I need an adultier adult to come deal with that problem. Because my idea is gather my children up, go to the car, and never return.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't like it.
I'll say also, like, whenever I was a kid, there was a Disney movie, Don't Look Under the Bed.
Yep.
Did you ever see that one? It was the monsters under your bed are actually your imaginary friends that you stopped believing in. So they turn into monsters.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
That's a neat idea, though.
Yeah, well, it was one of my favorites.
You
It
wanna
was
know?
definitely creepy, but it had a happy ending.
You want to know what Zach did to me when we were little?
Oh, no.
Okay, so
I would never.
You did.
I believe you did.
Okay, so you get scared of the monster under your bed.
hmm
It was like that all the time, but covers protect you.
Of course. And don't hang anything over the side.
No,
You're
right?
good.
So,
Yeah.
and then you're good. Zach told me that the monsters developed a suit that would let them get underneath the covers.
Wow.
This is the psychological trauma I deal with on a daily basis, guys. I'm pretty sure I was 28 years old before I felt okay enough to stick my feet over the bed.
God.
I don't remember doing this.
You did! Scared me to death.
My story on things like that is I was so afraid of vampires when I was little. But our house was hot.
hmm
So I didn't want the covers because the house was hot. So I would take the covers off and put a winter scarf around my neck so they couldn't bite me. How many nights did I sleep like that in the middle of summer? Yeah. It worked.
That is amazing.
You were safe. You're not working.
Yeah.
It worked.
Amazing. I love that.
Or
I
did
think
it?
it's-
Is she a vampire now?
I don't think so. She's seen her in the
If
daytime.
anybody
Never
is,
know.
I'm the vampire in here. I need the dark.
You have to question every person in your life. Are they really who you think they are?
Well, I think you
Yeah.
have to do that anyway.
Because Jocelyn's not.
Yeah.
You're convinced the fiance, or the wife, I guess now, is not.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
She's the monster.
She is.
She's just like a ticking time bomb now.
Oh, like that pin.
Amy, that is my pin.
Oh, it's broken now. I'm sorry.
Wow.
You have a box. You have a box.
I thought she left
Wow.
me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
I
does
think it-
that wrap us
Well,
up?
I think it's
or
funny. I was
any
gonna-
final-
about the kids, and you don't have to tell anybody as a child that if you keep your hands in and you don't move the covers that you're going to be safe.
Yes.
That is like an
Universal.
you just
thing, yeah.
know
Yeah.
that is the way it is.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would that?
I think it's probably instincts from like whenever way back.
That if you stay huddled up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
I mean,
a
this is
similar target.
This is telling on how much of a chicken I am. But like when I was 16 and I heard what I thought was the UFO sound for like 2 hours outside our house,
Mhm.
I stayed huddled underneath my blanket and did not move for 2 hours. My body hurt so bad because I was so tense.
I'll tell you though, if you hear a UFO sound, it's not a UFO because UFOs don't make sounds.
Okay, well, why did I hear for 2 hours outside of our
It
house?
probably
though?
wasn't a UFO.
What else would it be?
I don't know.
The only thing that is
It's
around
an
our house.
interdimensional being.
It needed to stop because
It was
my
just
body
a
hurt.
Yeah.
Like,
What did it sound like?
the
Okay.
for 2 hours straight.
Well, it happened when I
Oh,
was
definitely
a kid, too.
UFO.
Uh-huh. They revisited.
And the same basic
terrifying! No! Why would you tell me that? Oh, I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
And on this episode, an alien invasion
Now I'm
meltdown.
back for Rowan.
No, seriously,
do
that's
that.
like
Don't do that.
legit.
Don't do
I
that
have
to her.
such a
The
fear.
third generation.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched, when I was 18, I went and watched The Fourth Kind, and they abduct her children.
Mm-mm.
I have so much fear about that. Like when me and Michael got first together, I was like, you're going to think I'm insane. I was like, because I am not scared of someone breaking into our house. I was like, I'm scared of aliens coming and abducting my children. And he was like, what is wrong with you?
Little did he know.
so much is wrong. That's terrifying.
It's a scary thought.
I did
because
not
you
want to
can
think
do
about
nothing.
Yeah.
No. Oh my God. My heart
And I
would
think that's the
explode.
thing. It's the helplessness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My heart would explode if I saw an alien. There would be no abducting me because I would be on the ground dead.
So you gotta like look more into it because I'm starting to get less afraid of Bigfoot. Which I know that sounds incredibly crazy, but everybody has their irrational fear, and that's mine. But the more
That's what the monster would show up as
Oh,
for
yeah,
you. It
maybe.
would be
Uh-huh.
Bigfoot.
I'd be like, that's it, I'm done. Because I don't even think I would have to flight or fight response. I would just freeze.
Be dead on the ground, like
Yeah.
me with aliens. See, aliens, the bug man would come as an alien for me, a
And
Bigfoot
Bigfoot
for
for
you,
me.
vampire for you.
Maybe
What would you?
Oh, zombie for sure.
Zombie for
Zombie.
Mallory.
or a clown.
No,
Okay,
zombie.
Zach.
Zombie is it.
What's yours? What would it come?
What thing I'm scared of that's like irrational and stupid like that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. The heat death of the universe.
I don't know how the monster would come as that.
It would just talk about it. It would just be a dude there sitting, and he would just make me think about it, and I would just be done for.
It's time
That's
for
probably
the
true
end.
because I used to have to set up with him at night.
No, like it's a
And
thing.
Let him talk about infinity. Because when he was 8 years old, we spent many nights for hours trying to get him through this thing, that infinity may not be a bad thing.
What a nerd.
No, it's awful. I still maintain this. Infinity is the most terrifying thing ever. I hate thinking about it. It drives me insane. I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's awful.
Is this because this makes me think of how you saw Event Horizon as a child? Is
Oh,
this
that
where
was
this
a
stemmed
bad
from?
one. That was a creepy movie.
It was a creepy movie. Rewatching that movie, though, it was...
It's
I don't know how I was scared. I guess because I was a little kid. The movie itself is really bad. It's a really bad movie. It's kind of got some cool visuals and stuff, but then it's just like everybody's an absolute idiot in that movie.
It's like Final Destination ruined me.
Yeah,
Almost.
everything. I
The
think.
first one, the
that
first
could kill
one.
me that way.
The
That
first
could
one was
kill me that
awful.
way.
The second one was pretty bad too. But after that was like
It's like
you know,
everybody our age can't drive behind log
Yeah.
trucks.
Exactly, yeah.
they got like wild after the second one. The second one was still pretty realistic. I was like, that's Final Destination has enough things in it. We don't have to explore anymore. And then they came out with more, and I was like, now I'm afraid of the shower. What do you mean? What do you mean?
And I still turn all my knives and anything sharp
Yes.
down
Yeah.
in my dish strainer
Because of that movie?
because of that movie. Yeah. Because I'm like, what if you slip and fall?
Yeah.
Impale yourself.
Yep.
What if my kids, do something and they impale themselves?
Yep.
Very good movie. The
That's
rest of
the
the movies,
thing.
though, after that were hilarious.
And
They
yet,
got
my
really
favorite
funny
thing
after
to
a while.
read is horror
Yeah.
books anymore. So
Mhm.
I enjoyed being scared though,
Cannot
like in a
relate.
controlled environment.
Cannot relate. My anxiety's like, we need to go. Everything is real. Run away.
Oh no, I mean my anxiety's bad, but like it's reading horror books is like controlled. Now I do have my random anxiety moments, like I went to the zoo with my kids and I thought, what would I do if Rowan fell into a tank with an anaconda? And I had a panic attack thinking about this because I was like, oh my god, what would I do? I can't fight off an anaconda.
Sure
They're
you
too
can.
strong.
Only if
Chew
they're
your way
hungry.
through their neck.
I mean,
What you do, you have a new kid to replace her. That's what
Oh my
you do.
Wow.
Horrible,
Uncle of the
horrible.
year.
You've just dropped in my.
Yeah.
hey, guess what? I'm the favorite now.
That's true.
Wow.
Finally, waiting 31 years, it happened.
Rude.
Says you.
Okay, to get back on track. Any final thoughts about the book?
No, this is the most rambly podcast
Yeah.
we've ever done.
It is.
I think I was most horrified by finding that skeleton in the wall. That was the one that bothered me the most. And the
Yeah.
fact that there were the drag marks.
The
Yeah, that
carpet.
was
That
bad.
definitely. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that part yet?
No.
Oh.
No.
It gives you Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes.
Oh, not
like when they're
cool.
like dragging them down to the
Yeah,
basement
I
and their
don't
fingernails
wanna-
are in the
Ugh.
wall.
Little,
And I
little
think if you're
child
going-
fingernails.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
it. Stop it.
And I think if you're going to
Suffer
go,
enough.
if your theory is that something like that is happening, then you better find ways to deal with it before you go confront it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be stupid.
Yeah,
on
I don't
top
know
of
why he
stupid.
just
Oh.
went in there with a tape recorder.
That's stupid. He's stupid because he really didn't accept it. It's like if you're going to go that way, you got to go all in
Yeah.
if you're going to survive.
Like, I don't think I would have went in there right afterwards.
Mm-mm.
I would have stewed with it and thought,
I thought, how am I going to kill this thing?
if this thing is this, how are we going to protect myself and others this way? I would
Mhm.
look into it for sure.
Yeah. The ending of this book was just kind of anticlimactic, honestly.
It was. Like, I really enjoyed the story. I liked the creep factor of it. I wish there had been more, but the ending was kind of weak.
Yeah, exactly.
When in my version, the monster finished the story.
Oh, wow.
Joe kind of turned it over. No, not Joe. I'm sorry. Parker turned the story over to Jocelyn to tell the story. The end of it. You need to listen to it.
I need to
think you'll like
listen
my
to
version
it.
better,
Yes.
But she told you and then said, "Oh, did you notice he never told you my name? Well, my name is Jocelyn, but you can call me Joe."
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Ooh, that gave me goosies. Look at him.
Wow.
Maybe y'all.
Oh,
need to
that's
listen to
so
that one.
much better. Yeah, I'm going to have to listen to this one. I'm driving up to Columbus. I think I'm going to listen on the way
No,
there.
because you got the kids in the car.
They don't pay any attention to me. I listened to that Brother book in the car, and they don't pay
Oh,
any
my God.
attention.
Scarring my grandchildren.
Yeah, making them hard.
Oh my god.
They'll handle life well.
No, Sarah Connor.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I think that's going to wrap us up. So, on next week's episode, we are going to be discussing Ariel's nonfiction pick, which will be Chasing Ghosts, which is all about ghosties. Following that episode, we will be having Spirit Walk Paranormal on. They are a group of ghost hunters from Morgantown, and they will join us to further the discussion on ghosts and the paranormal. Thank you for joining another episode of the Reading Room Ruffians. You can find us on Facebook by searching Reading Room Ruffians Podcast. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at WVJCO Library. And of course, you can follow us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Jackson County Library WV. You can also check out our Reading Room Ruffians Goodreads, where we put the books we discuss and mention on our bookshelves. We also have all of our own personal Goodreads, which we link with everything else social here in our episode descriptions. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Reading Room Ruffians. And just so you don't forget, only the best libraries have librarians who don't shush you. We're supposed to be a good library.